some may ask, what's wrong with promoting patriotism? Because I wouldn't want you to get the idea that I'm saying something is wrong with the military paying the NFL to promote loving this country and fighting for this country, I guess. But if you're going to promote that, if you're trying to promote patriotism, it can't be one-sided. So you want to promote your side of patriotism, or your initiative, your intentions with your patriotism is what you want to be seen and have the light shined on in the positive way, in a great way. But when someone expresses their patriotism or their desire to have more freedom in this country, you shine a bad light on it. Terrible light, with terrible catchphrases and buzzwords attached to it. Like taking the message that never said anything about the military and turning towards it. That's why it's hard for me to even entertain anyone who talks about the flag and things of that nature and brings up the military when they have Colin Kaepernick on camera explaining to you what these protests were all about. The media, and solely the media, took the narrative of this man's protest and turned them around to make them disrespectful towards most Caucasian Americans that they know once they just hear anything about the flag would go crazy. But just like in the church, most of those same Caucasian Americans, most of those same Caucasoids, don't know the Constitution, don't know the ins and out of it. The same way a lot of so-called Christians don't know the Bible. They don't know the Constitution. So they don't even know and understand that some of the things that's taking place right in front of their eyes are, if not illegal, highly unethical and un-American. But yet they heard what the media said. The same media that we know for a fact. We have learned how to operate our media from Joseph Goebbels and Nazi Germany, the master of propaganda. We use those same tactics. You have to think about it. Anytime you can have a country like Germany follow behind you and cheer you on as you chase behind and chase down 6 million Jews and execute them. Anytime you can get a country to back you up as you do those things, I mean, that's some powerful stuff. So if you think that America had no interest in finding out how to influence their people after they saw the influence that Adolf Hitler and Joseph Goebbels had, you're out of your mind. We use the same operating tactics in our media as Nazi Germany did. Hell, we use their scientists. Their scientists founded NASA. If you want to be honest about it, look up who the founder of NASA is. And if it wasn't a German Nazi, then I'll be highly embarrassed. But I'm quite sure I can prove that the founder of our NASA, our space aviation programs, were the same German scientists that were making weapons for Hitler to invade all kinds of different portions of the world in the name of racism and the Aryan race. Come on now. Now, instead of killing these people, instead of hanging these people, instead of punishing these people for war crimes, we employed them. I know I'm getting off track, but that's how it is talking to me. That's amazing. So when I look at the media and I see how quickly they take narratives of what's being said, it's not even worth responding to, because you're dealing with a sick person that can hear something that they know is not the truth. It just excites them because it lines up with their beliefs and their values. But there's no truth behind it, because if you ever sit down with these people and talk to them, or if they sit down and talk to you, you're going to be able to bring up some points that make them look foolish in regards to what the whole issue is about. They just want to be right. They just something offended them, and they don't want to hear about it. They just want to go off the rails and just tell you how unpatriotic you are, and that's their only excuse. But at the end of the day, this country isn't even for the Caucasoids. So none of them can tell me anything. There is no true patriotism unless you're willing to give the Indians everything back. You can't even talk to me like that. Okay, let's go. So like I said, some may ask what's wrong with promoting patriotism. And like I said, it is the fact that it is one-sided. You just want to talk about how great America is and how we should fight for this country. But then when you have actual citizens in the country telling you about their perils and their troubles, you're like, shut up. The game is on. They don't want to hear blacks when it comes to promoting patriotism, only whites or blacks who agree with whites. Not with Caucasians, but that agree with Caucasoids. There is a difference. Caucasoids is a specific, special type of Caucasian in my book. Just told you. My birthday was yesterday. Today is June 15th, 2020. But on June 14th, 1943, this is amazing. June 14th, 1943. Remember I just asked you, what's wrong with promoting patriotism? Well, the thing about it is, in June of 1943, on the 14th, the West Virginia State Board of Education versus Barnett, the Supreme Court said that you cannot force children to salute the flag in school. Meaning that it was an unconstitutional violation of their freedom of speech and religion. Ain't that something? Now, I understand, like I said, I understand it's a privately owned company. But if you want to promote the Constitution and patriotism, don't you have to promote the rules and the laws and ideas that are found within the Constitution? So if the Supreme Court in 1943 says that you can't not force children to salute the flag, why are you trying to make grown men stand for the flag when they're telling you, I want to kneel and pray for a better day? How hypocritical is that? If you say you follow the Constitution, follow the Constitution. And look at this. Look at the time frame that this law was passed in 1943. Dead smack in the middle of World War II. You mean to tell me in the middle of World War II, when patriotism was needed at an all-time high, people still had the decency to say you cannot force children to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance or whatever you call it. You can't force them to do that. In the middle of World War II, you would think that they would say anyone who doesn't want to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance must be a traitor, must be a German, must be a Japanese, must be this, must be that. You would think that. But even in the midst of everything that was going on, the wars through the whole world, people still found decency enough to say, you can't force children to do that. Different people have different religions and different beliefs. If this country is what we say that it is, we can't force that. So how ironic is it that you're saying you're patriotic, but you're going against a Supreme Court ruling of 1943 when you say that someone should have to stand for the flag? My goodness. Now, what is really ironic and hypocritical and only money motivated is if you are a patriot that doesn't know their Constitution, like some Christians that don't know their Bible, we're going to shock you. I'm going to shock you with a few more things that we're going to talk about. Why do I say that? Because I want to go to I don't really know how to read this. I don't want to say it wrong as far as what it's called, but it says the 4 U.S. Code 8, respect for flag. This is the important part. This is the good stuff. Like I said, wait, what was the last thing I just told you all? Told y'all I'm preaching like it's like we in a sermon, man. Listen,